So, hello everyone. My name is Jesper Bermark Hall, and I'm from Sweden. And I'm representing today ECU Education Commission. It's the European Chess Union Education Commission that I'm the chairman of. But I'm also representing FIDE, that is the World Chess Organization, and also UPPSALA Chess Plus Academy, that is one of the leading clubs of Sweden working with chess in schools. Before I start this PowerPoint presentation, where I will try to persuade you how good chess is for kids, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and the journey I have done when it comes to chess and at least education. I was some kind of chess professional until I was 25 years old. You know, going to university, doing some work, but played as much chess as I could. But when I played the Swedish Championship, a young boy came up to me and asked me, how do I do to become as good as possible in chess? And I was just about to give this, this classical answer that you should go to the chess club, read books, you should do training and so on. But I thought I would call the Swedish Chess Federation and ask them, what does the structure look like? What is the pyramid for this type of child that wants to go from the very fundamental to the very top? I called them and they said, well, we do not really have a structure, but maybe you can make one. Because maybe you know that if you give a little finger to this type of organization, they will grab you by your arm. And from that moment, I started to be so devoted. How do you teach chess the best way? And I tend to say that I started at the very top because I started to build up the structure, the talent development in Sweden and Norway, because I have good context there. Starting Team Sweden, Team Norway, making instructional materials and so on. But I had one problem, and that was that all the talents that I was training, they were so good in schools. And why is that a problem? Well, the problem is actually when they are about 12 years old, these kids, the parents came to me and they asked me, should we go for chess, or should we go for school? And of course, I, as in charge of this development program, I should say, skip school, not so important. Yes, of course you should. But as a human being, I had to say, well, I think you should do school first. Then you can do the chess. The only one I can tell you that didn't follow my advice is Magnus Carlsen, that today is the world champion. He did not. Anyway, I started to think, what am I doing? Here I give chess to these bright kids that will have a good future, going to high schools, universities, they will have good jobs, and if you have a good job in Sweden and Norway, you have a good life. Is this really right? And I started thinking, no, I want to give chess to the weakest ones. Because if I can give chess to these kids without self-confidence of thinking, if I can open up this door to mathematics, logics, to these kids that do not have this talent for thinking and so on, then I have made a difference. And I believe chess can be this door opener. So I started to work with that. In 2007, I switched to start work for building up chess in schools in Sweden. We have a great tournament with 30,000 kids. We have school clubs that we started to develop. In 2014, I was offered to become the chairman of ECU Education, working with different countries in Europe. And today my main work is actually to coach different countries in Europe, how to structure, finance, what is the best materials, and so on for chess in schools in Europe. 4 years ago, I met Marisa van der Merwe and her husband Willem at a school chess conference in London. And it was like love at first sight. And the reason for that was that, I told her about my mission, my vision, what I believe that chess can do. And she just said, yes, I think the same, we do the same, and look at this. And it was amazing to find that I am in Sweden, she's in South Africa, and we think the same way. Our setups are mostly the same. And we said, but we need to do something together. And actually, this day has come. This is what we want to start with this event here today. And I must say that I strongly believe, also after these days I've been here now to South Africa, that we can make a difference. Because mini chess and trust foundations are some of the absolute best methods for chess in schools that I've ever seen. And believe me, I have seen all of the different methods around the world. So you have something amazing here going on, and I want to support that. I want this to be something that can be part of the education system, because I'm so convinced that this can bring something good to the education system of South Africa. Now, I'll try to persuade you why chess is so good with this presentation. Okay, so what we have been working with in Europe, that I've been working with, I've worked with several different professors in the advisory group, try to find out how to prepare our children for the future. And we are facing big challenges. Why could chess, this old game, be part of this movement? Well, we are facing extremely rapid changes. The upcoming 20 years will have more changes than we have seen in all the other years before, almost. And one of the things is that we will see automatization. We will have machines running machines. And the effect of that we can hardly understand today. How can we prepare our children for that? Present-day school children will face another type of jobs than we have seen before. 50% of the jobs we see today will have changed, will be automatized. And of course it's hard to say exactly how much, but 30 to 80% of today's job will have changed. So we can also see a completely new employment market. And they say, the professors we work with, that probably in the future you will have like 10 different types of jobs in 40 different places in the future. So the education system must follow with that, must be ready to be flexible enough to take care of the challenges that we are facing. What we believe in is that what we need to give to our kids is not only the facts, but actually the skills. And quite a lot of different professors talk about the 4 C's: the critical thinking, the communication, the ability to collaborate, and not the least the creativity and innovation. All of those 4 C's chess can actually support. And that is why I so much believe that chess has got a strong future in the future education systems. So another thing, when I speak to all the different ministers of education or teachers or schools, is that every subject is trying to find a way to be gamification inside the subject. Because then this is something that children today are used to have games. Chess has got that for free. Another thing is, of course, that is good with chess is that I don't say that chess can be, give you all these mathematical skills and all that, but mainly I believe that chess can give you the confidence in thinking. That's the main thing. Another thing that is great is that everyone can play. I tend to say that chess crosses all borders. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, your age, your physical development, or even if you have some kind of diagnosis or something like that. Everyone can play on equal ground. Another thing is that chess is a board game, but it works perfectly well in real life situations as well. That means that we can have a swap between those 2 areas. And chess can be so inexpensive, not the least when it comes to the material costs. Everyone can afford to play chess. So, this cooperation between South Africa and Sweden and Europe, I believe that if we can find a good way forward, we can make a difference. That's why I'm here. I also believe that the problems we are facing in Sweden, I can see that you are facing even harder problems here in South Africa, and that chess can play an even more important role. But as we share the same values, meaning chess and what we do, we can together be stronger, we can develop new methods, and we can make chess even better for the educational purposes. Another thing is that the World Chess Organization, FIDE, is, I know I spoke to Arkady Dvorkovich and to Dana, who is in charge of the organization, and they say they really like to see if this can be a pilot, this project which we're preparing, to be something that can be used in other African countries, as well as in Europe. And personally, of course, I hope to bring to Sweden all the new ideas that we hope to find. Thank you very much.